first derby of the season. How are you feeling and how's the fitness of the squad?
Yeah, good. Derby comes around pretty quickly these days, so everyone's looking forward to it. We've had a great pre-season. We had a great start to the season last week against Newcastle. That's never an easy game to get a result. So everyone's healthy and really looking forward to what we always expect a big game and lots of things happening in derbies. So I'd imagine tomorrow it won't be any different.
Do you like having the derby this early in the season, or would you prefer to push it out?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, to be honest. So we're both in the same situation, second game in. I think it's good also for the public. There was a hell of a lot of interest last week. It was a great lead up to last week's games, and a couple of sellouts that looked really good. So continue the momentum. It's excellent.
How important is that momentum in a game like this?
Yeah, second game. We just want to play every week, and that's what we're doing. We've got the game tomorrow. We've got round 3 coming up. Round 4, and then we have the international break and the bye, so that probably stops our momentum a little bit. But yeah, nothing you can do about it. It's the way it is, and we're just really looking forward to now rolling up our sleeves and getting a good performance down tomorrow.
Pretty familiar face in the opposition dugout with PK there. Has there been much talk about that? Obviously, knows your as well.
No, yeah. Well, obviously. He's crossed the border now, so yeah. Good luck to PK. He's an excellent coach. He's done tremendous things here at City. Had a lot of success. Brought up a lot of young players. Had a difficult time, obviously, in Troyes, but I'm sure he would have learned a hell of a lot from that experience. And yeah, now he's at victory. Might feel a little bit strange for him, but this is football. It's people are coming and going all the time, whether it's coaches, whether it's players. So that's all just part of the game.
Does it feel a little bit? Do you feel a little bit exposed having him on the other side when you would probably know a fair bit about this team?
Yes and no, and it's probably the same for him and us going into looking at what he does. He has a particular way. He knows our style, which is fine. I don't think he's changing too much from what he knows and what he's experienced. So hopefully it's not too much of a chess game. That'll be pretty boring. But in saying that, it's a derby, for God's sake. So everyone will be itching to get out there and really having a crack.
Goals have been hard to come by in recent derbies.
Last year, yeah.
How keen you to get one on the board early, just sort of get Amy Park erupting, because we've not been able to have that for a couple of years now.
Yeah, well, I think our first 2 last year were nil or draws. But look, I think in every game there were plenty of chances. So it wasn't a boring 0-0. There was plenty of chances, just didn't take them away. The final was also the same. We could have had a couple in the first half. Obviously, we missed a penalty at that point, and they had a couple of good, decent chances as well. So, yeah, just one of those things.
Matt Leckie, is he right to go?
Well, he's trained this week. Trained again this morning. So we'll just see how he pulls up in the morning. It's been his first week, to be honest, so I'd really like to see him have another week. But let's see. I'm not counting on him, put it that way. All we're interested in at the moment is he's able to continue finishing every training session that he's on the park and pull up well in the morning, and that's what we've been doing for a little while, and we've done that this week as well. So we'll do that again tomorrow morning, and then we'll make a final decision.
When you've spoken to him, how confident does he feel carrying the injury?
No, the injury is no issue at all. It's a matter of fitness, because he's missed a fair bit of the pre-season as well. So he's had a bit of an interrupted pre-season. But now, hopefully, touch wood, that he's able to get over that little bit of a hurdle and just really be consistent. And I think if you ask any player or any coach, if you miss pre-season or fair bit of pre-season, then the season becomes quite difficult. And for the majority of our guys who have totally completed, well, I think we had about 80% of our players complete the whole pre-season, not miss a training session. So I was really pleased about that, and like I said, we're in really good nick, and Lex would just potentially may have to just bide a little bit of time. Obviously we want him in. there's no question about that. He's such a valuable player, and but we need to make sure that he's absolutely confident in himself first before we start throwing him in.
Aurelio, I wanted to ask about Patrick Beach getting the nod between the six and man of the match as well. How likely is it that he keeps the jersey for the season?
Yeah, he had a fantastic debut last week. Made some nice saves at crucial moments, and there's no need to make any drastic changes there. He's a fine young goalkeeper, as is James Neuenhausen, and obviously we have Jamie Young there as well, who is really been very, very supportive of those young two boys. So as I think I mentioned last week, that we had to get to a point where, you know, how long are we going to take before we actually take the next move with these guys and get them developing a little bit quicker, and so that's what we decided to do, and he did very, very well last week, so he will continue, and hopefully he can have a consistent year. You just don't know what you're going to get with young players. It doesn't matter. It's probably worse because of a goalkeeper. You always have these peaks and troughs through your career, especially when you're young and learning. So hopefully if he can be absolutely stable mentally, physically he's absolutely fine, and different pressures obviously tomorrow because of it's a derby, but he's played more games for the under-23 Olympic team than he has for us, so he's got that little bit of edge of experience anyway.
Yeah, he's been named captain of the Olyroos, so just that his experience is pretty slim at senior level, but do his leadership characteristics sort of make up for that a little bit?
Yeah, he's got that in him. Yeah, he's definitely got that in him, and who knows, he's a potential big leader of the club. He's confident. Just naturally, his personality is that he's a confident player, and you absolutely need to be as a goalkeeper. It's a bit like a striker. You know, if you lose a little bit of confidence, then your game really can turn in a negative way. But he's been grilled, to be honest, through pre-season. So is James, not just by our goalkeeper coach, but our assistant coaches, Ralph and Jamo. They just really been nailing just the details of what we want from him. He just responds, and that's why he got the nod in.
Just no Jimmy, obviously. Is it a straightforward process to replace him? And on that note, do you stick with Nate Atkinson as a midfielder, which probably is surprising for you?
Well, do you want to know the lineup? Is that what you're telling me?
Always. Yeah.
Nate will stay in. He had a very good game last week, and so we got something else planned for the midfield. So we have to wait until tomorrow.
What sort of carrot is that Socceroos in Melbourne in a few short weeks' time for guys like Nate,
For Nate?
Leo, Lecky, like to get that block of form ahead of that, and obviously put their name on the lights with a new manager as well?
Yep. Well, they're obviously doing their job because they've been around. I think Hayden was at our game last week. Popper's been around the last couple of weeks. Definitely they'll be around tomorrow as well. But all those guys that generally in and around the national team will, I would say, back again in the mix. Great for Nate because he's come back, and he was a little bit underdone obviously when he came back from Scotland, and he's worked his way to a decent level of fitness, and done very well last week for us, to be honest. And then Tills hasn't played for a little while, and he's in really, really good shape, really happy and confident. It was really pleasing for him also to score the goal last week. And I think he'll just get better. They just need rhythm, and as much as it was such a long pre-season, 4 months, it's never the same about then really getting the season kicking off and playing really, really competitive games. Most of the pre-season games are never played with your full team or the team that you envisage. So, we've been modifying players' minutes, and we've had some injuries like everyone. But we're getting really, really close now to a team that looks like competing.
Tilio's climbed to 4th all-time on the City goal scorers chart.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he's one behind David Williamson. Fair way to go to catch J-Mac, of course. But,
Probably not.
but how much of a difference maker can he be in the derby?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a derby. It's any game. He has, in my opinion, he's probably the best dribbler one-on-one in the competition. And when he starts running at you, it can be frightening if you're a defender. So I'm pleased that he's really worked hard in pre-season. At times I felt sorry for him because when he wanted a little break, we just kept pushing him, and he's just worked his way to, as I said, a really nice level of fitness. Pleased that he scored last week, and I'm really looking forward to him having a big, not just a big game tomorrow, but a big season.